Hi, Phyllis here from southernfrugal.com. I had a request for some type of meal that had pasta and beef or noodles, and I'm not sure if this is what the person was asking for, but I call it poor man's beef stroganoff, and it's pretty simple to make. So let's get started. First of all, I'm going to put a little oil in a skillet. Heat that skillet up. Now, I buy my hamburger in bulk. Actually, this is lean ground chuck. And I think when I bought this, I bought it in a 3-pound pack. Anyway, I just make little square burgers out of them and freeze them to use in different, meals. So this is about 10 ounces of lean ground chuck. I'll put this in the skillet, and now I'm going to cook it just like this. I'm not going to break it up or anything, because after I turn it over and it gets brown, and it's brown on both sides, I'm going to make little itty bitty squares out of it. So when you're eating the little beef stroganoff, you can get a little itty bitty bit of meat. All right. So the other thing you're going to need is this, and this is what I use, the no yolk dumplings. I just like these better than I do, getting the that thin, I think it's fettuccine, the little square noodle, and traditionally that's what you would use with beef stroganoff. But I like these because in a 2-ounce serving, let's see if you can see that, you've got 8 ounces of protein. Cholesterol free. Anyway, they taste really good too, so I'm going to use half of this bag now. I started getting these a couple of years ago because I could get a coupon and they'd go on sale, buy one, get one free, so that's really when I started using them, but then I found I really liked them. So, the other thing you'll need is 1 small onion, and I cut mine in little sort of half moons there. Just a very small little onion. 3 garlic cloves chopped. 1 can of cream of mushroom soup. And today I'm going to be using some cooking sherry, about ½ a cup. Now, usually I use white wine, but right now I don't have any, so I'm going to make do with this. It'll still make it taste great. And then to finish it off, after everything's cooked, I usually put in some chives. Now I do that because I've got a lot of chives in the garden, and so that just gives it a little extra color. Okay, so I've got my water boiling for my little noodles. I don't remember how long it takes to cook these, probably not long. Let's see. Yeah, 10 to 12 minutes. So anyway, now the hamburger's already started browning. After that gets done, I'm going to also have some steamed squash. Now these are squash from our garden. And I'm going to also have green beans from our garden. I'm very proud of that. Plus we'll have some little sliced cucumbers and probably a little buttered roll. Now, the other thing you'll need for the stroganoff is the cream of mushroom soup. Now this is Southern Home. I think that's Vilo's brand. A 10.5-ounce can of that. Now, when you use the cream of mushroom soup, of course, that means you're going to get the mushroom flavor in there without having to spend $2.59 for a little pack of mushrooms. All right, so when this gets going, we'll be back. Okay, we're back, and the hamburger is pretty well done. Now, what I want to do is cut it in little squares. So I just take my spatula, cut through it with the spatula. And just make little squares of hamburger. little bitty squares. Okay, now I'm going to take this out and put it in a bowl. Now I've already drained off some of the grease. And now I'm going to put my little onion in. Kind of stir that around, and those little brown bits and all that are on the bottom of the skillet, you want to just kind of scrape those up, because that's going to give your beef stroganoff a lot of flavor. Alright, I've got my little squash in steaming. I've got a little tray in the bottom of the pot, and I'm just steaming them. It's time to put the noodles on, so I'm only going to cook half a pack. I'm just going to grab it in the middle and dump half of them out. Little clothespin, little wooden clothespin. Alright, I want to give you one more little tip on what I do when I'm frying out really anything. And I'm using the little splatter screen. Can you see the grease on that? I just put that on top of it, but leave a little bit of space on the sides. Just put a paper towel on it, and that was how much grease would have escaped had I not had the paper towel over it. So that just helps keep your stove a little bit cleaner. Alright, now I'm just going to scrape these onions to one side. And by the way, my burner's on medium-low right now. I'm going to just use a tablespoon of butter. Well, actually, it's 2 tablespoons. I'm going to get one more in there. To that, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Kind of let that cook a little bit. Just a little bit. Let's see how I've got all that brown in the bottom. Well, that's going to come up from the bottom in a little while and give us a lot of flavor. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and mix my onions in. I'm also going to throw in my little, now this is rough chopped 3 cloves of garlic. Because you don't want your garlic to burn, because if it does, it has kind of a bitter taste. Alright, now I'm going to add in about a half a cup of cooking sherry. Normally, you know, white wine, red wine would be okay too. It's about a half a cup. Now all of the little glazing on the bottom of the skillet will start coming up. This will start thickening a little bit. Alright, now to this mixture I'm going to add 1 can of cream of mushroom soup and 1 cup of water. Okay, it already smells great. And now the bottom of my pan is pretty well clean. So to this I'm going to add 1 cup of water. By the way, my noodles are boiling, so I'm going to need to set my little timer for about 12 minutes. Alright, so I'm just going to simmer this on low till it all gets incorporated. Now my squash are steaming right now, so they should be ready in just a little while. And give my noodles a little quick stir. Now you notice I didn't add any salt at all. First of all, the cooking sherry has got salt in it. Of course, regular wine wouldn't really have salt in it. And the cream of mushroom soup has got salt in it. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and put my little hamburger squares back in. And I'm going to add just a little more water, maybe another half cup. About a third of a cup. Okay, it smells really, really good. Alright, we'll be back when this comes up to a boil and I'll show you the rest of the ingredients. Okay, we're back, and the little poor man's beef stroganoff has simmered for maybe 10 minutes. So now I'm going to add some sour cream to it. Just about a half a cup. Now I'm just going to use all that I've got here. Just about a half a cup. Just mix that in and just go ahead and cut your burner off. And that's the little bell for my noodles. I've already taken those up about a minute ago. Now I'm going to add the chopped chives just to give it some color. And I do like a lot of chives, and of course the chives are really optional. Okay, I'm going to let that just kind of sit there for a little while. My steamed squash are ready, my green beans are ready, and we're just about ready to eat. So we'll be right back when I get this plated up. Okay, here's the recipe for the poor man's beef stroganoff. And I added about a third of a cup of water at the end just to kind of thin out my sauce. And of course the chopped chives are just optional. Alright, now let's go over and see what this looks like. There it is. And we've got poor man's beef stroganoff, green beans from the garden, squash from the garden, some Harvard beets that I fixed a couple of days ago. We're just finishing those up. And some little crispy cucumbers from the garden. I just love them. They've got real thin little skins on them. Okay, there it is. And of course served with iced tea. Poor man's beef stroganoff. I actually like it better with the ground chuck than I do when you like put regular whole meat in it. I don't know why, but I do. All right, there it is. See you next time.